Okay. Hello everybody. This is going to be my first YouTube review. Hurrah for me, I guess. I have, as you can see, the Studio Underdog Watermelon Chronograph watch. I wasn't gonna make a review, but when you're looking on YouTube for video reviews, there's not much. I mean, there's some articles on, some watch blogs and things. There's only a few reviews on YouTube, so I figured I would try to fill that gap, and just to give you guys just to help you guys make that decision whether you want to pick one of these up. The value proposition is a lot more complicated now that they've risen in price. They're now $600. And whereas, of course, the Kickstarter, they were like $4 something, and then they were $500 on the website, I think, and now they're $6. And he just released a strawberries and cream limited edition for like $6.50 or something. Let me check. It's oh goodness, $6.75. It does come with 2 straps. It comes with a pretty nice looking Milanese thingy, mesh strap, but it gets a bit more complicated because your dress, it's like putting I don't know, Napa leather in a Honda. At some point you can't gussy up a Honda. It's still a Honda. But I think this is a very interesting watch. Overall, I like it. I just think that even if you're just looking at other chronographs with this ST1901 movement in it, there are some other interesting options. And if I can figure out my video editing software, then I will try to include some of these, but we will see. Okay, so I've owned this watch for about 3-4 weeks now, so it's going to be kind of a fake unboxing, but this has the details, warranty info. It's checked by a third party for accuracy. I don't know what this is. Maybe somebody can tell me in the comments. I guess you just put this, it protects the watch somehow, not sure. We have this pouch, which is cool. It smells weird, as all cheap leather does, and this broke, which is a shame, but whatever. And there she blows. I'm shooting outside right at the edge of my garage so we can get a lot of natural light in here, and you can see how it might look in the daytime outside. So there it is. Let me see if I can zoom in a bit. Focus camera. Thank you, camera. So, there it is. The case back right there. Very cool. It's got a couple of scratches on it now, of course, but it still looks pretty good. Let's see if I can get even closer. Let's look through the booklet real quick. I'll set this down over here. So it comes with one of these, signed. It's tested. It says the accepted tolerances are plus minus, or minus 10 plus 30, and it's at 7, 15, and 9, I think. Now I bought 2. I bought the mint chocolate chip version. I thought my wife would like it. She didn't want to keep it, but she liked the watch, she just didn't want to keep it. In fact, she said it was the mint chocolate chip version was the best color, in her opinion, and her favorite design of every watch that I have. I own about, 12 watches. And its tolerances here were plus minus 2, which is really cool. Maybe I should have kept that one. Sold it on eBay. Barely made my money back. I mean, it was worth buying both because I knew I could make my money back. It was worth buying both to see if she wanted one or to see if maybe I wanted the mint chocolate chip. But I ended up staying with the watermelon because it's cool. It's classic. It's cool. Has a 50-hour power reserve. I've already noticed that in just the everyday wear. When you put it in the watch box, you know, I'm used to the watch being dead after 30-something hours, right? I have a lot of watches with Sellita movements in them, and the Sellita 200 will stay wound for maybe 30 hours. 38 if you, like, wind it to the max, but usually around 1 day and some. So this is nice because it does actually stay wound for 48, 50 hours if you don't use the chronograph a bunch. 21,600 beats per hour. So we've got a 38.5. Let me see if I can. We've got 38.5, 13.6 thick. It's pretty thick. 10.8 excluding the crystal, 20 millimeter lug width, thankfully. Although I have been able to put a 19 millimeter strap. I mean, not that you would need to, but I had a 19 millimeter strap laying around and I was able to fit it on there pretty well. 44.5 millimeters lug to lug, which if anyone has a Quartz PRX 35 laying around, that is the lug to lug including that first non-articulating link. Just, I don't know, to give you a comparison. I'll compare it to a 38 millimeter Dan Henry Quartz chronograph that I have here in a minute. Water resistant 50 meters, yeah, don't test that. Sapphire crystal, I don't think it has any anti-reflection on it. Maybe I'm just too dumb to know these things. And the strap is 20 tapering to 16, which is perfect. I do have some issues with the strap, and we'll talk about that. Horologium offers a 2-year guarantee. You send it back to them if you have any issues, and that's it. Pretty cool. So I'll look at it off the wrist like this. We'll try to zoom in and see the dial, and then I'll put it on my wrist, and I'll try to throw in some B-roll that I've taken, pictures I've taken out in direct sunlight, and show you how it looks in different lighting conditions. All right, let's get really close. Okay, so the dial is obviously what you get the watch for, and it's really cool. The colors are great. Yeah, I apologize for the reflections. Look, you can see the camera and the lights and everything, can't you? It's the pink part, most of the dial is raised above the green part. Sorry, I'm not using the technical language. You've got a telemeter around. I wouldn't have included that. I would have used that space to include some second markers or minute markers because it's very hard to get a precise time. The second indices are, right, the little green dashes here. Those are the minute markers, not the rails, because that's the telemeter, which makes it very difficult to see what time it is, right? It's supposed to say, right, 3:27, right? Just over 3:27. It's hard to tell. You just kind of have to guess. So there's that. There's one sort of negative. Chronograph works great. The buttons are very mushy. I don't know. This is the only ST 1901 movement watch that I've owned, so I don't know if that characterizes all of them. But compared to other quartz chronographs that I've owned in the past, it's mushy, right? See how far I have to indent you kind of have to push it down a bunch. But it works every time. Haven't had any issues. You can see some imperfections in the brushing here on the crown. Now notice as it rounds the bend and goes back to 1 minute, notice the 30-minute dial over here. It stays at 0 until it's ready to flip. And it's quite cool, actually. And there it goes, boink. So that's really cool, and it's precise, and it means that at a glance you can just kind of look down and you don't have to guess, oh, is it closer to 1 or closer to 2? I'll show you how the Dan Henry does it. It's very easy to tell what minute it's on. And so I appreciate that. And then you do this, and then very satisfying, snap everything back. The hands are loomed. I'm not going to include a loom shot. The loom is not great. You're not really going to learn anything by seeing a loom video or a picture. But I will tell you this, it's better than nothing. Now, some watches are pretty much indistinguishable from nothing. Like, the loom's so bad, you're almost insulted. You're like, just make the hands look a little nicer and don't give me loom. But this is actually worthwhile. My metric for whether the loom is good enough is an hour after I go to bed. Can I tell what time it is by just looking at the watch? If I'm wearing the watch to bed, and our bedroom is in the basement, so it's very, very dark at night, and that's my metric. And this watch passes the test. It's useful, right? It's not fantastic, but it is useful. So that's good. Another niggle that I have about the dial, it's hard to see in this light. When you're looking right at it, it's a little shiny, glittery. You're gonna think this is a weird analogy. It's almost like it's glistening a little bit, like I don't know, somebody put on too much moisturizing cream on their face, and it's just kind of glowing a little bit. It doesn't look good. I don't like it. The pictures, if you were to look at the pictures on the website, and I'll try to put some B-roll to show you, the pictures make it look like it's more matte than it is. Like it's not very reflective, maybe, and that the light colors towards the middle of the dial have more to do with the coloring, but it almost glitters a little. It's not really picking it up, but just keep that in mind. It looks almost like a spray painted, like it's spray painted on. I don't like that. I already mentioned the minute markers, so it's a little bit harder to tell time. Watch only needs to be wound 12-15 times before it's all the way wound. But yeah, let me put it on, and then I'm gonna put it on some different straps, and I'm gonna compare it to the Dan Henry. What do I have? A 1964. All right. So there it is on the wrist. I have a I don't know, a wimpy wrist, a 6.5-inch wrist. So this watch is great if you have a small wrist. I like the fact that the lugs are short, that it's a lot of watch without being big. It's like a big small watch, if that makes sense. It probably doesn't, but it's a big small watch. There's the thickness. Yeah, it's nice. I love wearing it. If I'm wearing really muted colors like white or black or brown, it really well, I usually don't wear it with brown, but it really makes the outfit pop. So it's really cool like that. So here's a comp that I owned. The closest thing that I own is this, which is a Dan Henry 1964. Here, I'll put it on the other wrist. Dan Henry 1964 quartz chronograph. One who doesn't really care about heritage, then you don't care that it's a quartz watch. So maybe this might be something you're thinking about. So there they are right there. Now I'll show you the way the chronograph runs on most quartz chronographs. So there it goes. And there's the 60-minute counter to the left. And if we zoom in, you'll see that it just sort of gradually moves to the next, to minute 1. And it's not really even. See how it's about to go to 1 and we're only 30 seconds in? See, it's like 80% to 1 to the first minute, but it hasn't even reached. So it's not quite matching. What I like about this is that it stays on 0 minutes until it's 1 minute, basically, as you saw earlier. So there you go. It just kind of gradually goes. Now I'm going to leave this running, and then I'm going to come back, and it doesn't always match up. The 60-minute counter doesn't always match up, so it kind of looks like it's been 4 minutes when it's been 3.5. Here we go. This is on a fairer three-hand from their three-hand collection. I don't have the watch with me. I have the white one, but this is their Bernina leather. It's their cheapest leather watch. And I thought, hey, the green matches, you know, like a watermelon, something like that. Sorry, the camera's not focusing. So I think that looks pretty cool. Kind of cool. This is a good leather strap. It's kind of worn out, but it's thick. It feels good. It feels dense. Feels heavy. There's no hollow sound or plasticky sound when you're rubbing the watch that you do get with cheaper watches. Ooh. I know, call me crazy. Not that you would ever do this, but I mean, you could. Looks kind of cool. This is a fairer butterfly clasp. This clasp could have its own review, and I will review it when I review the fairer Resolute that I have. I think this looks kind of cool, and these are just some ideas. I think, obviously, if you're going to go with metal, then a mesh strap is going to look really good on this watch, and that's why they're selling it. Studio Underdog was selling the Strawberries and Cream with the Milanese strap. That makes total sense. You could also easily put this on a NATO strap if you wanted to, and it wouldn't look bad on that. But I think this kind of matches. It looks kind of cool. The brushing kind of matches. And obviously there's a little bit of a gap there. It lines up a bit better with the fair watch that I bought for it. But the brushing consistency does match. It's basically the same color, and that's kind of cool. I'll show it to you on the wrist. I've never actually worn the watch with this strap. I just thought for kicks and giggles. That's kind of cool. Looks kind of cool like that. I'll put it on. You'd think that your options for straps would be limited because of its color, but it does give you, I mean, if you're going to be goofy anyway, then just lean into it. I think that looks pretty cool. Maybe I'm just being silly. Now, this strap is an Epsom tanned strap. It is 19 millimeters. You can see the gap there, because I got it for the Dan Henry, which is 19 millimeter lug width. I got this on eBay. You can just search Epsom tanned, shrunken leather. That's how it gets this pebbly effect. It was about $35 on eBay, not super expensive. But I think it pairs well with the pink. Maybe, you know, if you're really OCD, you can't get over that. This does come in 20. I mean, you can buy the strap in a 20, and that's fine. Let's talk about this strap real quick. The strap that it comes with. The company makes a big deal about their straps, right? They've partnered with the strap tailor, and they put their little thingy here, right? The strap tailor, and it's fine. It feels a little cheap. It doesn't feel fantastic. It doesn't live up to the hype that it's marketed as. It's not like a Seiko where you buy the watch and you immediately take it off of the OEM strap and you throw it away and then you have to buy another one. But it's not something that I would buy the watch. I wouldn't buy the watch expecting to get an expensive strap, thinking that, oh, well, maybe it's a $400 watch, but I'm going to pay $600 because of this nice strap from the strap tailor. Now, strap tailor may be able to sell these straps for $100-something on his website. He's not really marketing himself by showing us this. This is not worth $100. This strap is worth $40, definitely. I love this strap at $40. This strap at $100 or something, $80. I think he sells them for like $80 to $100, and maybe he's doing a cheaper straps than he usually sells for this collaboration, but not great. Now the one on the mint chocolate chip is better. I wish I still had it to show you. The one in the mint chocolate chip is better than this. It's just kind of cheap, plasticky feeling. I don't know how to describe it on camera. Maybe you can see it or hear it on camera. But I still keep it on this strap a lot. As you can see, it's worn. It's fine. I think this watch does pair well with black because it offsets the colorful dial. I do wear it with this strap quite a bit. And I do put it, I wasn't able to show it, I do put this strap on it. And this strap is kind of cheap too. It's got that texture to it. It was about $23 on eBay. No quick release, which is annoying. But, yeah. Let's see, what else? So, I will show you some comps. In fact, I will try to match some pictures with the watches that I show you, or I could just be stupid. Just let me do this. I know that if I were good at editing, that I wouldn't do this, and I'm sorry, but just bear with me here. Oh boy. Okay, so one of the cheapest ways in to the ST1901 manual, fully, mechanical chronograph movement, which is cool. There it is running away. Kind of cool to see. On AliExpress or trying to use one on eBay, $170. You can get a 38, or you can get a 40. You can get a acrylic, or you can get a sapphire. So there's that option. Another option. Oh, let's see if they have one in stock, guys. So this is, yeah, Seagull right there. 42 hours. That's funny because it's 50 in the other one. 38, 47 lug to lug, so longer lugs. Hesselite looks good. These are very hard to find as well. Every time Richard releases stock, they sell out in about 5 minutes. So that's, I mean, look, if he can charge 600 and people are beating a path to his door for 600, then who can blame the guy for charging 600? I think that if you really are just trying to get a lot of bang for your buck in terms of movement quality and features and stuff, you know, then you can get a lot of watch for a lot less money. But the value proposition here is with this dial. Until somebody else comes along, and they will, until somebody else comes along with cool looking dials like this, he can charge whatever he wants, and I think people will buy them, and I think it's really good looking watch. I don't like how the crown kind of sticks out even when it's pushed in all the way. It kind of, I don't know, it's kind of iffy feeling. But again, this is a cheap movement that he's surrounding by really good levels of finishing on the case, and then he's sticking a cheaper movement in there. And so when you're winding the watch, when you're pulling the crown in and out, when you're watching this thing go around, it reminds you that it's a cheap movement. But when you're looking at the case itself, the case finishing is very good. You see the polished chamfers there. Sorry, the watch is a little dirty. I really like the really kind of blasted look, very matte gray there, contrasting with the brushing, which contrasts with the polish, and then the boxed crystal. I think the boxed crystal could have been a little bit less prominent. You've got, even just looking at the crystal, forget about the case. I understand that the case has to be thick because of the mechanical movement, but the boxed crystal maybe not so much. It does have its charm. I don't think it's too thick, but yeah. Anyway, so just some things to watch out for in case you would like to subscribe. I'm going to be reviewing a Fairer 3-hand Resolute, which is a beautiful white lacquer dial 3-hand watch. It's one of my favorite watches that pairs really well with this butterfly bracelet. And I'm getting a Tissot PRX in 35 in green. I was gonna buy a blue, but they were out of blue, and they're running a really good sale. So I just got the green. And then I have a couple of other watches, but those are kind of the only cool ones I have. So I don't think this will turn into like a full-time gig for me, unless I win the lottery or something. But anyway, thank you for watching. Let me know if you have any questions about this watch. If you want any extra shots, extra footage, maybe I could release a part 2. But if there's something you want to see or any questions you have about this watch, leave me a question in the comments. I'll do my best to answer. Anyway, thanks, bye.